The audacious proposal, hatched during the Trump administration and now facing renewed scrutiny, seeks to reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. The plan, shrouded in secrecy and sparking international condemnation, envisions the relocation of Gaza's over 2 million residents to Sudan, Somalia, and Somaliland. This controversial initiative, reportedly involving high-level contacts between the U.S., Israel, and officials from these three African nations, raises profound legal and ethical questions while highlighting the complex power dynamics at play in the region. The Associated Press, in a groundbreaking report, revealed the clandestine diplomatic efforts underway. Two Sudanese officials, speaking under the condition of anonymity to protect their involvement in these sensitive discussions, confirmed direct contact with the Trump administration regarding the resettlement of Palestinians. The discussions, they revealed, took place with the military-led Sudanese government, a stark reminder of the fragile political climate in a nation grappling with internal conflict and humanitarian crises. This revelation underscores the boldness of the proposal. The plan, as initially conceived, outlines a complete displacement of Gaza's population to facilitate a sweeping reconstruction project, transforming the coastal strip into a high-end leisure and business hub. A vision sharply contrasted with the current reality of poverty, conflict, and humanitarian hardship faced by the Gazan people. The implications of such a massive relocation are staggering. Experts across the legal and humanitarian fields are adamant. Forced resettlement of this scale is a blatant violation of international law, a fundamental breach of human rights, and a potentially catastrophic destabilization of the region. The principles of self-determination, territorial integrity, and the prohibition against the forcible transfer of populations are clearly disregarded. The ethical dimensions are equally troubling, with concerns raised regarding the potential for mass displacement, cultural disruption, and the devastating impact on the lives of millions. The U.S. and Israeli officials, also speaking anonymously, confirmed contacts with representatives from Somalia and the self-declared Republic of Somaliland. However, the level of these discussions and the progress made remain shrouded in mystery. The lack of transparency surrounding these diplomatic engagements intensifies the international community's concerns. The vagueness surrounding the nature of these discussions casts a shadow of doubt on the seriousness of the proposal and its feasibility. Somaliland, a territory with a population exceeding 3 million, declared its independence from Somalia over 3 decades ago. Yet, it lacks international recognition, adding another layer of complexity to the resettlement plan. Its inclusion further complicates the already precarious political landscape. The potential for destabilizing effects on an already volatile region, rife with internal conflicts and external pressures, is palpable. Somalia, already struggling with internal conflict and the powerful presence of al-Shabaab, an al-Qaeda-affiliated extremist group, faces significant challenges to its stability and security. Its recent development of strong ties with Arab states and Turkey adds a further dimension to the geopolitical chessboard. The integration of displaced Palestinians into a nation battling insurgency and struggling to maintain its sovereignty could lead to unforeseen and potentially devastating consequences. The proposal's lack of consideration for the existing political realities in these African nations is deeply troubling. The potential for escalating conflicts, exacerbating humanitarian crises, and fueling regional instability is alarmingly high. The plan's disregard for the fundamental human rights and the sovereign rights of the nations involved raises serious questions about the motives behind it. Beyond the immediate humanitarian and legal concerns, the strategic implications are equally profound. The move could be seen as an attempt to shift the focus away from the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, offering a seemingly radical solution to evade long-standing tensions. However, such a drastic measure, fraught with risks and uncertainties, raises doubts about its long-term viability and the potential for unintended consequences. The initiative appears to be driven by a desire to create a fait accompli, forcing regional actors to react and potentially generate alternative proposals for the future of Gaza. This strategic gambit, however, ignores the gravity of the situation and the deep-seated concerns surrounding human rights, international law, and regional stability. The inherent risks outweigh any perceived political advantage. The international community's response has been overwhelmingly critical. The plan's potential for creating further instability and human suffering has led to widespread condemnation. The legal and ethical ramifications are undeniable, sparking calls for increased scrutiny and a reassessment of the plan's viability. The secrecy surrounding the negotiations adds to the controversy. The lack of transparency undermines trust and raises concerns about the legitimacy of the process. A more open and transparent approach, involving the affected populations and the international community, is crucial to prevent further harm and ensure a just and equitable outcome. In conclusion, the proposal to resettle Gazans in Sudan, Somalia, and Somaliland remains a highly controversial and ethically questionable initiative. Its potential for violating international law, destabilizing the region, and exacerbating humanitarian crises demands rigorous scrutiny and a thorough reassessment. The lack of transparency and the disregard for the sovereign rights of the nations involved raise serious questions about the long-term viability and ethical implications of this audacious plan. A more humane and just approach, respecting international law and the rights of all involved, is urgently needed.